Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co, and this is another board game upgrades and deluxifications video. We're gonna have 5 things to show you today. I know there's only 3 here visible on the table, but that's because one's a little bit out of view and one's also out of view. We will get to all of them, links and timestamps to everything down below. Speaking of links, as usual, this series is sponsored by Top Shelf Gamer. Top Shelf Gamer is a place that you can go ahead and get a variety of board game upgrades, from deluxified pieces, from inserts, from sleeves, and tons of other things. We'll have a link to their store down below. You can go and check that out, and that is an affiliate link, so if you go ahead and buy from it, it does support the show. So, with that said, let's go ahead and dive into some of these things, and let's start off small with a 3D printed thing. Speaking of 3D printers and affiliate links, I'll actually have an affiliate link down below to my 3D printer. You can check out my full review of the Bamboo printer, which I generally enjoy, not without a few quirks, but easily the best experience I've had 3D printing from all 2 3D printers I've ever used. But like the difference is insane. But you can check out that video for a full dive into that. For right now, we're talking about our faraway insert that I went ahead and printed on my Bamboo printer. I've been printing inserts one at a time over here and just showing you them here and there in these upgrades and deluxifications, although I will say I forgot, this particular insert is a very tough fit into this container, so like, it fits in, it doesn't come out easily. Which the good news is you don't actually care if it does come out, because you don't typically pull out your inserts, at least, well, that's not true. Sometimes there are inserts where you want to pull out certain aspects of it. This is not an insert where you're pulling it out. The only reason I've had to pull this out, this is going to be a problem. The only reason I've had to pull this out at all is to show you the entire thing in here. But this is our 3D printed insert in the color of my choice. I will say, when it comes to the Bamboo printer, I do use some of their filaments, because I do like some of their filaments, but I also use other cheaper filaments as well to go ahead and keep my costs down. This one, I don't actually know what filament this is. I think because it's monocolor, it's probably not theirs. The ones of theirs that I particularly enjoy are the marble and some of their bicolor filaments, versus this one over here, monocolor, I usually outsource to Sunlu. I want to say Sunlu is primarily where I get my 3D printer filaments that aren't for Bamboo. But I love the Bamboo printer, very helpful for printing in a variety of inserts over here. This one fits perfectly in the box, so perfectly it's very hard to get out. It stores all your cards exactly as you'd need. I will say, this particular 3D printer does have this particular insert has one small problem that I wish they would have done differently, which there's no place for the score pad in here. The good news is I primarily use the BG Stats, the BG Stats scoring app for marking my scores when I play Faraway, so I don't actually need that, but I do kind of wish they had that flexibility for those who wanted to use the 3D, the score pad, or just those like me who are kind of completionists, and I did go ahead and throw it out, but I was like, but what if I need it? What if there's that one time where my phone battery died and I can't, and I want to play Faraway, and now I have to use something else, and no one else's phone works either, and I don't have a pen or pencil, or no one has a pen or pencil, and I don't know what to do. It's a very specific use case, but that is why I keep score pads. Like, I never use very rarely use score pads, and yet I also very rarely throw them out. Anyways, that's your 3D printed insert over here for the game Faraway, and with that, let's go ahead and move on to something else. What should I do next? Let's do Rise and Fall. Okay, so I don't know why it took me so long to think about that. Rise and Fall over here. I did actually take out a lot of the stuff over here to make my job easier as I show you this, so a lot of the tiles and extra stuff that I don't care to show you, I did remove. I want to show you 2 things about this game. This game, by the way, excellent game, really like it, but we got 2 things over here. We got the coins, which are very shiny, and I like this approach. Like, it's not metal coins, they're just shiny coins. So if you check out these coins over here, I don't know how well it'll come through on the camera, but these are shiny coins. Okay, it comes through decently enough, it looks like. But these are shiny coins, giving a degree of sheen and sparkliness to your coins that just make the game look cooler and more premium, even while using cardboard components. This is not the first game I've seen do this, and this is not the reason we're showing it today. Rather, this is one of the things I want to show you while I'm showing you the rest anyway. And the rest anyway that I want to show you is the wooden buildings and components. You see, Rise and Fall is a very fascinating game of area control and a lot of very clever card play going on as you try to figure out, do you want the variety of options that units can give you, or alternatively, Do you want to specialize and focus so you can activate the right units again and again? And we have over here our nice little, this like lifts up as a flap over here, and you can pull out the various bits over here. I'm just showing you that right now, but I'll go ahead and actually show you the bits that I wanted to show you. See, it comes with a lot of very cool components, and we're going to go ahead and pour some of these out over here and just show you some, probably not all, but this has some amazing wooden buildings and pieces compared to almost any game I've seen. And that's some of the best I've seen, just in terms of, I don't know, they're cool, they're very unique. They're different. They're different pieces compared to what you typically see in a board game. So let's go ahead and zoom in all the way on my camera and try to see what we can show you over here. So here we got a little wooden building, and these are the different various building types you'll have. Now this isn't like connected together. I mean, it is. I'm sure it's glued, but someone else did the gluing, not me. But you have these like little buildings over here that are your wooden buildings, like a degree of almost 3D meeple wooden stuff. And that's going to be true for all of the pieces we show you today. They all have that extra degree of like almost 3D-ness to a typical wooden meeple. So wooden bits are not atypical. Plastic miniatures, not atypical. Wooden bits that are almost constructed to be like plastic miniatures, that is very atypical, and it's one of the things that makes Rise and Fall stand out in a very crowded field of, well, a lot of different component upgrades. But it makes it also visually beautiful on the table, and the gameplay is more than good. More than good. I'm going to pull this out the way it's structured because I actually think this is kind of cool. We got a little foam tray over here for our ships, and then for a variety of other things. Let me try to make sure this doesn't fall. I'm going to show you all of this over here. So, we got these little bits over here. These are going to be your little trays to hold your meeples over here. And you can do what you want. You could just store them by faction in the bag. I like the way these are stored right now, so I still haven't decided if this is the final way to store it. In fact, if you actually look at these containers, the compartments are technically supposed to be for tiles. I haven't done that yet, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do. But for these, and these are over here, we're going to have our little boats. I'm not going to show you all the boats of all the colors, but let's at least show you boats of 2 different colors, just for the sake of variety. But there are a bunch of different pieces. I think there's 6 different pieces, if I recall correctly, 6 different types of units that you're going to have to utilize as you, well, play this game. And ships are one of them, along with those buildings I showed you. So we can show you a ship over here. This is a little wooden ship that is adorable. I should note, by the way, this isn't an upgrade so much as a deluxified version of a game. Generally in these video series, I often show you anything from things you can buy to upgrade a game. That would be similar to the, what did I show you first? Inserts, things you can print to upgrade a game, or things you can actually just buy as far as upgraded versions of games. That's another thing I like to show over here. And to that end, let's go ahead and show you some of these carriages. Again, 2 meeples basically glued together, but the end result is a piece that gives you a degree of 3D-ness to the piece. Like you can see, because it's not like a direct line. I mean, normally if you'd carve a meeple out of one piece, you'd have it the exact same width the whole way through. That's not the case here. There's 2 separate meeples glued together to give you a kind of little horse and carriage unit type, which is, well, one of the unit types you'll be dealing with in the game. With that, let's go ahead and open up some more, because there are some more. So let's put this back over here, back in the compartment that is technically wrong for it, but functionally does the job. We're going to put this over here. And the last time you saw this on this channel was when I covered the prototype. And the pieces there were honestly pretty good as well. But they are even better now, which makes them, well, even better now. So let's go to open some of these. Now this, I don't want to pull out all of these because there's some whole bunch of monument type pieces over here. Let's see what we can get as far as, let's show you that one. There's so many cool pieces. I'll show you this one. I kind of want to show you everything, but I also don't want to show you everything. So I'm not going to show you everything, but I'm going to show you most things. We have this, again, another little piece over here, wooden piece that has a degree of, like, you know, whatever to it. We have our bridge. Whoops, I dropped the bridge. We have a bridge, a little bridge that you can go ahead and use to march along bridges with your little carriage that I actually don't recall if it fits on that or not. We have our little Stonehenge, little miniature wooden Stonehenge. And again, these are not all, but I'm just showing you some more of the types of pieces you can expect to see in this. Let's put these back over here. And then let's finally show you the, is it finally? I think it's finally. Finally is the last, well, finally in the sense that it's the last compartment, but there's multiple pieces in here. So let's go ahead and pull them all out. We have a bunch of things to go through over here. Let's show you we'll show you these guys last. So many things. Let's show you these general buildings over here. Some more building types, because there are different building types you'll have in the game. We got these over here for, well, other buildings. And then, after that, we got some of our other unit types over here. There's 2 more unit types. There's, I don't even remember the names of them, but there's the giant lion guys, and then these, the missionaries? Were they missionaries? I can't recall what their class name is. Or monks? Anyways, so I'll show you these over here, because we got 2 more of these types, and then we'll show you some of the special buildings as well. Some more special stuff. So, we got these, which are, well, little guys wandering around, spreading goodness and cheer, and possibly creating new cities. anyways, that's as far as these go. Then you got these guys, which are a little more aggressive, to actually some degree of violence in the game. The game's far more about area control, but that's not to say there's no violence at all. And so you have these little wooden meeples pouncing all over the board. And then lastly again does not mean actually lastly, because I'm not showing you everything here, but to show you some more of these pieces over here, we will grab one of this, and we'll grab this, and we'll grab, we'll grab the Sea Dragon. Although this is more of a standard meeple, honestly. Honestly, these are some of the less cool meeples because they are not really that 3D element. They have, I mean, they obviously are 3D, but they don't have that variable width, which makes it more clear that it's just a single piece. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but when you have all these cool pieces that are made out of multiple wooden pieces, it does mean that the other ones look cooler, partially just because they're different. It's not really done as much in the board game space, so different is not necessarily better, but it does stand out. And that's what we have for this over here. Again, I have all the other components off to the side to make this easy to get to, and we'll properly put that away later. From there, let's go to one that has a giveaway. There's a giveaway attached to this. I'll have the notes in the description down below, and this is actually a giveaway from One Shark Joe, who recently did a different giveaway for all these boxes over here, those Marvel United boxes. We did a different giveaway on the channel, but this time we're gonna show you some Primal health trackers, okay? Primal health trackers and monster health trackers and player health trackers and struggle trackers. So a whole bunch of trackers being shown for Primal. And if you're like, Alex, didn't we see this already? Well, partially. You saw this before, but we have more trackers for you. So we're gonna show you all the various trackers. And again, there is a giveaway for this. I have to double check the details as far as what's being given away. I don't recall. It might just be this health tracker over here. It might be more. Check the description down below. But if you want to be eligible for this, just make sure to include in your comment down below the word Primal. Anywhere in your comment has to be the word Primal. It could be Primal, Primals, I want to play Primal, I don't care for Primal, I want to win Primal, this is a Primal video, I don't care what you post, but if the word Primal is in your thingy, there'll be a giveaway for this. It might be region-based as well. It might be free shipping to the US only. Double check the description notes for that information. But I will first show you the health tracker, because why not? Because we're here and we're going to show it to you again, even though we did it a few weeks ago. But we have, well, I guess a few months ago, arguably. But we have our health tracker over here for Primal, showing you the various health of the monster. Now this does have, where is it? Here we go. We have this over here, which if you need to go too high in the monster health, you can add that to have a hundreds counter. So now the monster has 331 health. You often won't need that for most of your monsters, which is why it's designed visually around not needing it. But for those times when the monster health goes above double digits, you now have the ability to track this as well, up to a full 399 health. If you have more than that on any one phase of the monster, you are in trouble. Then from there, we have our struggle tracker. This is fairly basic. Struggle never goes that high, so you don't need it to go that high. But you just have this one tracker over here just going to count the struggle based on the player count to go to whatever number it needs to go to until it resets because you've exceeded the struggle. You reset to whatever number, and then you go ahead and unleash the monster's strength. And then lastly, we have player counters. We have two over here, but ultimately I'm just going to show you one because they're the same thing. We have our player trackers over here, which will be showing you the player's health. This is very optimistic as far as how high it goes because you don't really have 78 health as a player. But far more typically, you'll have your, starting off with your 10 health or so and then slowly moving up as you go to different levels, but you're able to track your player health on this dial as well. So again, you have all this kind of more premium way of tracking health and status and counters in the game relative to the typical way you would do so. And that is going to be our Primal bit. From there, we're going to show you Mythic Mischief. Now, if you're like, Mythic Mischief, why is that on the table? Because I've never shown you the painted miniatures that Mythic Mischief has. They introduced this in Volume 2, and they do have ones for Volume 1 as well, which I will be showing you. I have it all over here on the table. But basically, Mythic Mischief offered painted miniatures as a deluxified option. I don't know if you can buy them separately. I haven't checked. During the crowdfunding campaign, you were able to get your Volume 1 miniatures. In fact, do we get... Oh, we do. Good. I was wondering. Okay, cool. I'm just checking something. Anyways, you can have a few things over here. We're going to have our various factions to go through. I'm going to show you, I guess, do I want to show you everything? I'll highlight one in each, and then I'll just show you the container. So we have our little painted miniature over here. Like most painted miniatures, like most factory painted miniatures, it doesn't have the degree of depth you might want, which means you can go ahead and go over this with a wash. If you want to like add a little bit more shadows and texture to this, you can go over it with a wash, which is usually a fairly easy procedure. I have not done so with these yet because despite me saying that it's a fairly easy procedure, I'm always averse to starting to slather wash over miniatures that look already pretty good, and the question is, will my changes make it look better or worse? The answer is probably better, but I'm always nervous, so I haven't done so yet. Let's grab my favorite miniature from over here. Oh, she's pretty awesome. Let's go ahead and show you here. These are the gnomes, one of my favorite factions, if not my favorite faction. I need to play more Mythic Mischief. It's been a little too long. But again, we got these factory pre-painted miniatures with our deluxe set, and then we have the other two as well to show you. That's our gnomes. Then from there, we have, is it our werewolves that we're going to do next? I think we'll do the werewolves. And I don't actually know all the names of all the factions offhand, but I'm pretty sure these are the werewolves. Let's show you this rocking on werewolf because it's different, and I like different. So we got our little rocking on werewolf over here with their little guitar or banjo or whatever it is they have, but they're going at it. And then we have our full werewolf pack over here to take a look at. And again, you can see all the coloring is pretty good. The main thing it's missing is that 3D element that a wash can provide. And I am curious how much better or worse. In fact, what I should do is I should just go online and look at other people's pictures and see what they've done, because that would really determine whether I'm interested in risking that or not. The problem is if you do one, I guess like you could lock it into your least favorite faction. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe even once I decide that I want to do it, I'll pick my least favorite faction, I'll start with them, and that way if it doesn't look good, who cares? I don't play them as much anyway, and if my opponent is playing with them, good, they should have the bad miniatures. Now anyways, after those, we actually have the one that does look the best, which is the Tomeskeeper, and I can never remember whether they changed the names. They have two different versions, different themes. Is it the Groundskeeper now? I never remember as far as this. I always just call him whatever. He's the librarian, the Tomeskeeper, the person that gets you in trouble, the guy marching around the board, and he does look the best overall in my opinion. That might just be the coloring scheme used, but again, I still think he could benefit from a wash. And that's your Volume 2 set over here, but we're not done yet because we do have our Volume 1, which I have not actually put in the box. My Mythic Mischief box is up there, which does mean sometimes I forget it exists, but the good news is I have my Volume 2 to remind me that this game exists. But outside of that, we have these over here to give you the various faction upgrades for some of the base game factions over here. So, and I don't think, oh, there's a full nother, give me a second, I'll be right back. But let me show you these first, and let's show you the Tomeskeeper first. I'm not going to show you all of these because I don't want to take up all of your time in this, but we have our Tomeskeeper over here, who again looks pretty solid. I just realized my little O there was realizing that I only grabbed one of the two boxes because there's a whole bunch more factions from Mythic Mischief Volume 1. And then let's show you like, ooh, I like her, I like him, We're going to show you these, okay? I picked some of my favorites over here, but we are going to have two boxes to show you. I'm going to have to run and grab the other one in a second. But we have these guys over here, and look at those guys. Look at these. Like, again, the coloring scheme is pretty nice. I think I like the Volume 1 ones more. The Volume 2 ones feel like they're a drop more faded in the overall presentation, but let's show you all of these before we go to the remaining box. So let's just focus a bit, and then let's show you all of these so you can go ahead and take a look at your Mythic Mischief Volume 1, Part 1 of 2. For Part 2, we're going to have a chair stream. Well, not a stream, a chair video. As I go ahead and get these. Sorry about that. I just forgot to grab the second box, which means you have to go ahead and open this, and I can also show you the dice, which I forgot too, honestly, while I was at it. So let's go ahead and show you the other miniatures before we show you the like little bone dice or whatever they are. This is our second box. This is the same basic structure as the first box, just with more of these. Once again, I'll pick my favorites over here and then show you the rest of the box. There are fewer in here. We got, let's put that off to the side. Let's go ahead and show you this one. Honestly, there are less here that I really love. Let's just show you these. I will show you three again. Let's highlight three of these and then show you the rest of the box. So as far as highlighting these three, we got these guys over here. Oh, I'm not holding these nearly as well. There we go. That's what we got. And then as far as the rest of the box, we have, this is going to be the rest of the box over here. And then lastly, we have our dice. So, this goes on properly, this goes on properly. I do need to replace the miniatures in the other box and put this on the right direction. But we have our little dice as well. Before we get to the last thing, because this isn't even the last thing in today's video, our last thing is actually, our last thing has a, I wish I had changed the terms of the giveaway, but I said it already, and so I'm going to stick with it. I'll get to why in a second. I have a little contest now I want to do. Do I do a giveaway in the contest? I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, we have these dice over here. These are your little bone dice you can use. Now the problem is you can't use it for everything, so there's a limit to how much you can benefit, because every character already has their own dice, and they didn't do a set for each character's color. But they are cool. They're like different material. They're not plastic, which gives them a nice premium feel. But again, I have two sets, which is nice, so you can both players can play with them. But that means you are replacing your basic color dice. Now the last thing I want to show you over here is going to be something that's actually actively on crowdfunding or coming soon on crowdfunding, depending on when you watch this, or past tense on crowdfunding, and maybe you can link back. But it's a way of storing your playmats. Now I'm gonna get up and show it to you in a second, but let's talk about a few things. Do I want to show it to you first? Yeah, let's talk about a few things. So, it is a way to store your playmats. It's going to be one of those things that hangs over the back of a door. There are other ways to support it, but hanging over the back of a door is going to be one way. I will talk about a negative I've experienced already with this, although prototype, so I'm hoping they change it in the final version. We shall see. I will say I really like it and I've been using it so far, but well, let's go ahead and show it to you. It's not, I don't know if it's anything massively new. I've seen others that do this. I just think this is my favorite version of it so far from the ones that I've personally tried. I'm gonna kind of get up and just show it to you because I don't see a way to easily show it to you otherwise. Like, it's a playmat holder, which means it's kind of big over here. So, let's show you what I got. It is, oh my gosh. Okay, this is the playmat holder, okay? So we got 12 playmats, I believe, in here. 12 playmats. And so what we're going to do over here, the question I have for you, no contest for this because I already said the giveaway, but the question I have for you is, can you identify all 12 playmats in this playmat holder? Bonus points if you can. I will slowly go through it so you can at least stop the camera anytime you want. But these are the 12 playmats. Is it 12? No, it's more than 12. It's like 15. Let's count them. We got one at the very bottom of there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I lost track at the end. Was that 16 or 15? I don't know. But anyways, this playmat holder, so let's talk about a few things. First of all, holy schmageggies. Do you know how heavy 16? Do you know how heavy 16 playmats is? Because I know how heavy 16 playmats is because I'm trying to hold this thing. Which brings me to my other complaint about the playmat itself. You see these holes over here? These have little door hooks that hang over the door. And I don't know, I think I need to buy replacement pieces for those because the metal they have works great when you have like 4 playmats in here, which I had for the first week or so. And then when I actually went ahead and filled it out, that metal bends over time under the weight of 16 playmats. And it doesn't work functionally the way it's intended to work. So right now, this over here, bearing the weight just fine, no issues. It's very, very sturdy, holds everything great. I can't tell you how it'll handle over time because it is heavy, but I can tell you that I like it right now. But the metal hooks that go in here, those aren't as good. They're not bad. They're still functional, but I've had to replace them with other hooks that are more secure, that have less bendiness to them, because 16 playmats is a whole lot of weight. But anyways, I do like this. You can go ahead and check it out. And again, you can buy metal hooks anywhere that are significantly more sturdy than the ones that came with this. But again, prototype, so hopefully they will watch this video and take that into account in their final design, because I think that if you're going to buy a playmat holder that holds 16 playmats, you shouldn't have to buy your own hooks. They're not expensive, and your Home Depot will have them. But you know, you want your thing to function the way it's intended to function. Anyways, but that, again, past that, I like it. I do like it. Anyways, until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I hope you have a good one.